All right, we want to move on to the last three.
Let's do it.
Try and bang them out.
Let's go.
Okay. Stranger Things 5. That was straight. I mean, it's not perfect. I think part 1 was the most interesting of the 3. Part 2 was an extraordinary amount of setup, and then the finale is straight. I mean, I wound up, in comparison to what I saw people theorizing, I wound up liking it well enough. Like when I came out of it, I'm like, oh, I'm content with where it ended. There's some interesting shipping wars going on when, like, let's be real, people. None of those relationships were going to last into college. Let's get that clear out in the open. Like, one, like Will had that fuck ass bowl cut, so even if Mike was bisexual, they weren't going to be together.
Mike said
because he had that fuck ass bowl.
His first actual relationship, get absolutely wrecked and fucked up, and then go through a major identity shift and change his hair.
Yeah, like Will found who he needed to find.
Will is going to do that.
Yeah. Will cut his hair, started dressing better because gay men can be very finicky. So it was like he had to switch his style up. He had to get some swag to him, and he did. He got his confidence. He got his magic powers. He survived being in Hawkins. He got his swag up, got his hair cut. He doesn't have to live at his mama's house. Because let's be real, all the Wheeler kids have fucked up ass haircuts. Like that's not an uncommon pattern. Or the Byers kids. Sorry, not Wheeler. The Wheelers be walking them down.
Both of them are terrible. Jonathan never had a good haircut.
No, Jonathan's hair always looked fucking moppy. Will always had that fuck ass bowl cut. They both looked bad. Their mom is overprotective and can't cut hair.
Okay, you know what also was bothering me? Because then I learned fucking what's his name? The guy actor who plays Jonathan is British. So when he does that thing where he like overcompensates his American accent, so he sounds like an anime character. You sound like fucking Deku. No, don't sweat it.
That's a minor aside. Do you follow MHA? Did you watch the finale
of Stranger Things?
Of My Hero?
Oh no, I need to. Oh, I didn't hear you say that. Now I'm a few seasons behind. Oh, it already came out. Okay. My Hero ended already.
Yeah, it's done.
When did it end?
In English too. The English one ended 2 weeks ago. Japan on the 13th, December 13th.
Oh wow!
So it's done officially. It was good. Last season was good. It's short. It's 11 episodes. Oh, so when if you want to ever catch up, that last season is real short.
Damn. Okay, shit. Yeah. Were you satisfied with the way it ended?
Yeah. Yeah. It worked. It worked for me. It was a very hopeful and bright and a nice culmination of just about a decade's worth of storytelling, of classic Marvel good versus evil, but it's very hopeful. It's very bright, and I like that. Even though like there are some things that I wouldn't have done in terms of emotional satisfaction, but I can understand to add a little bit more risk to a story why those choices were made. So it's just like, I would want a clean, perfect cookie cutter ending for it, but it doesn't explicitly give you that, but it still gives you, I think, what's like right underneath that based off of what they set up through the it's all just like the final battle, but it's really intense. There's a lot of cheer worthy moments. There's a lot of proud moments. Bakugo probably has one of the best redemption arcs in anime in recent years. I will give credit where credit is due as somebody that was a Bakugo hater, to my core. He has a fantastic kind of complete arc that he goes throughout that entire show's run. So it's good. And now I can move on to My Hero Vigilantes, the spinoff that happens prior to the show.
Oh,
or adjacent to.
Oh, adjacent to. Okay.
It's a mid-quel it's a spinoff. It's a spinoff. So it's about other heroes on the street level doing stuff.
Interesting. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I guess back to Stranger Things.
Yeah, back to Stranger Things. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I liked the final season. I didn't love it. I definitely think it was the weakest of the seasons. I felt like the previous seasons did a great job of establishing a show that was about these characters coming of age while simultaneously dealing with this weird happening that was going on in their town. And they did
Mhm,
that pretty well for 3 seasons. I feel like the first 2 seasons are fairly similar. Seasons 1 and 2, in a weird way, feel like a part 1 and part 2. Season 3
mm,
feels like its own summer blockbuster adventure, and season 4 feels like it's this, like, Infinity War builds up, really ramping up of the mythology of what the previous season started. And season 5 feel feels like it lost a lot of that coming of age heart because of the amount of
mm,
stakes and volume of characters it had to contest with. So it was a lot of planning, a lot of exposition, even though it was still
mhm,
fun. But I feel like some of
mhm,
that stuff was lost in translation. Plus, there are just certain things that didn't quite make sense. Like, not didn't make sense, but weren't as narratively satisfying. Like
mm.
Max having a fucking long ass conversation with Holly before they're about to go through their portals. I was like, if you don't get your ass through that fucking portal, like shit.
You just have to believe in yourself. It's not actually about the music, which
Like,
again,
if you have that
it,
conversation in the cave, that's one thing. But we're actually in Vecna's kill zone. That's a whole other thing because you establish that
the
that's the danger zone, both in last season when she's running up that hill, and
yeah.
when you almost make it out in the first part of the season 5. So it's now the third time we're in this area, and we're not treating it with the sense of urgency that we did with the first 2 parts.
Mhm,
Another thing is I felt like the finale should, even though it was cool, I was, I think, largely satisfied with what the upside down was, even though it
oh yeah.
it didn't make I didn't get why Barb was killed. Now that we know what it is, and we understand
Mhm,
why Will was taken, even though I didn't get why Vecna's base of operations was within his house in the wormhole, because he had to open the gate to get to the other side.
mhm.
Um, but I feel like if we go to the abyss, there should be demogorgons there. There should be the flying bats there. All the
Yeah.
creatures that have been in the show that we've come across over the course of 4 or 5 seasons should be present. And it would have been cool if Will and 11 took Henry and the Demogorgons down. I feel like if you're worried about it being too much for it to believably be something these kids take out, you could just say, oh, because Will's directly within the abyss and he's closer to
Mhm.
the hive mind, it makes him in turn more powerful. But yeah, I just think Vecna was a more formidable, scary foe in season 4, and he just didn't have he looked cooler in season 5, but he just
Yeah.
didn't have the same looming presence as he did in the 4th season.
Yeah, it had a lot to kinda resolve, and, like, it helps because I followed it at release order, so I'm looking at it slightly independently while remembering, like, enough details to, to just remember it's like, "Oh, these are these characters, this is what's going on, and blah, 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 b to b." Um, but no, I think, like, the predominancy of the feedback and critique for it, like, I I don't people can feel how they feel. And I think everything you're saying is perfectly sensible and valid, and I'd probably be inclined to agree. Um, I think some people are maybe a little bit harsher on it just because it's one of those moments like, well, it didn't meet my expectations. Now, I don't think that's the majority. I
Okay,
think a lot of people do.
yeah,
Huh?
I didn't have those expectations because I saw a lot of people
Yeah.
theorizing this is gonna be this way, and
Yeah.
if Steve doesn't die
Yeah.
or Steve better not die, I was like, bro, y'all are setting yourself up to be disappointed because y'all are putting all this shit on it the show never promised you.
Yeah. I think there is. Now, granted, the only thing I did see was that dumbass theory that's like, oh, well, people are worried that the ending's going to be like the whole series was a campaign the entire time. Which I'm like, yeah, that'd be fucking garbage.
Yeah.
That fucking Saint Eden ass ending, don't do that. Um, but they didn't. And like where it like ended, I was relatively satisfied with. Now, granted, the stakes could have been higher. I was asking the questions like, where are the other monsters in the true upside down dimension that turned out to be a thing all of a sudden in the last season? You know, why
Well, they
is
teased it in season 4 because when they showed where 11 banished him to, it didn't look like the upside down that we knew.
true, true, and you know why was I'm forgetting Sarah Connor's actress, but like Commander K, you know, there beyond just like them saying that they could get another classic 80s actress there, which I mean, again, Linda Hamilton does good with what she's given, but it's just like, okay, and then what? You know, how does Hopper just get back to being a sheriff after killing multiple members of the
You
of the
know,
U.S. military?
you know what I think the thing with Kay is? I feel like they realized they fucked up in killing Papa, so they had to get somebody that filled the role in which he filled within the first season. They
I
killed Matthew Modine because they wanted to have this redemption
mhm,
thing with 11. But if they
yeah,
didn't do that, it would have made perfect sense or more sense for him to be the
mhm,
one, and Hawkins Labs is coming back as like this big ass force
yeah.
and coupled with the military for one last thing.
Which in the introduction of that plot does make sense because the military is relentless and like, um, you know, and we have examples of like experimentation stuff like that. So it coming back doesn't surprise me. I think it's that. I think it's also they wrote this for that reason because they killed him off, and then happened to get Linda Hamilton to say yes. So she stands out way more.
But
Where it's
yeah,
like if the
if it wasn't
yeah,
Linda
so I think
Hamilton, you wouldn't think anything of it.
you probably wouldn't think as much like you'd still have the question because fundamentally the character, um, you know, there's a lot of buildup and not as much payoff as there should be for exactly like you said. So I think it's 80% the writing decision. It's like fuck, we kind of wrote ourselves into a hole, but we do want to bring this plot back because realistically that is something would happen, and we also need to have like the military occupation and in the town do something. So it's like we'll write this character for that. Oh shit, we got Linda Hamilton to say yes. We'll bring her in. So now it stands out a lot. You're like, fuck, you got Linda Hamilton here in what seems like a really important role, like the successor to Papa, which is kind of functionally what the agent is. Yeah. Like she doesn't even die,
No.
you know, during like Vecna's siege in the first return at the end of part one. Again, like they could have killed more of the kids. I know why they didn't. You know, it was like one, you can't kill Lucas.
Right.
So
Yep.
can't kill Lucas, can't kill his sister, can't kill Will. Bury your gaze. You know, can't kill. Well, they did kill 11, sorta, and kind of said, but maybe.
They
And
couldn't. You're right.
shrug.
You can't kill
Yeah,
Max. So I think
can't kill
really
Max because
leave.
she's already in a coma. You can't bring her back just to kill her again. So,
I feel like realistically, they could.
um,
They probably could have killed Mike, or they could have killed Dustin. I also don't want them to kill
they
Dustin,
could have
so they
killed
could have killed
Mike.
Mike.
Yeah, Dustin has basically anybody that was like a not able-bodied white kid was gonna make it. That is a lot of your cast, though. So it's like they could have killed Jonathan. I
I would have
think
preferred they
to up
killed
the stakes,
Jonathan.
they could have killed Jonathan. Like, here's the thing: I like Steve. They could have killed Steve, but that may also tread back into the same territory of what Dustin was like. Some of his arc was, which is like
Yeah, and I feel like
mourning the
they
loss of
could. Like,
a old boy.
I don't know if he, I don't think Dustin could have taken it if Steve died. So I don't think they could have killed Steve.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like they could kill Steve in theory, but they'd have to really find a way to write it good in that time frame of the episode. So Steve is kind of saying, so yeah, Jonathan, like Nancy is the fucking Terminator. You can't kill her. Um,
Oh, they also
you
killed
can't kill.
Callie. They killed Callie.
Who's Callie? Which one was Callie?
Damn. 8.
Oh yes, they killed. They were they didn't have too many people. They can't kill. Maya Hawke, because she's a lesbian. Can't kill your one of two lesbians that are both dating each other.
They
You
just
know,
wrote
we
off
need
for the
that.
show after the time
Yeah,
jump.
yeah, because and then you also need like, so yeah, you really could only kill. Well, no, you can't kill Jonathan because now, no, you can because then, Mama Buyers would even have more reason to go after Vic. So yeah, they could have killed Jonathan. They could have had Jonathan pull a Titanic and sacrifice himself for Nancy.
Well, if he did kill Jonathan, I feel like that makes her chopping off Vecna's head even more satisfying.
Yes, yeah, and that's what I was trying to say. So yeah, the only one they probably could have killed was Jonathan. Or the or no, not one of the kids. The whole point is to save the kids. They could have killed one of the kids.
That's the thing. I didn't think the show needed a ton of bloodshed. Like, I think it would have.
No, 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 no. It doesn't need like an insane body count. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I would have liked greater stakes. Yes, I don't think it needed an insane body count. Oh, and something that bothered me, and not it's such a nitpick, but I
Okay.
didn't see anybody else talk about it. If you go back and watch season 2, Callie has a heavy
Mm-hmm.
accent, and when you cut to season 5, she has a straight up
Yeah,
perfect
she's
American
British,
accent.
isn't she?
No, you watch the scenes from season 2 and season 5.
Wasn't she
She has
British?
an American accent in season 5. Go back and watch it, bro. I
What the
promise you.
fuck? I believe you. That's
It
weird.
was
Yeah, I'll
weird
have
as
to go and
shit.
take a look. How bizarre.
How bizarre?
Did you know Kate? Her actress is 32.
I did. She's short as hell too.
I did not. She's so like childlike.
She's
And I don't
petite.
mean that as in a weird way. Yeah, like I don't mean that in like a weird way. I just mean that it's just like I would not have guessed that. I would have guessed like she was 18 to 20. She's older than me. I'm like, damn, you got that Lola Brooks.
Get that forever youth face.
Yeah, like I'm like, girl, I would have thought you was like 16, like the same age as like Holly's actress, or maybe a little older. Like, at least Millie Bobby Brown's age. It's like you got a smooth 10 years on her. Which
It's kind of right. It's kind of crazy because I think Holly, when the show starts, has to be like 4 or
eight?
5. Now she's a
Oh, you're
little
right.
kid. She's a little girl. She's not even talking when the show starts.
Yeah.
So the show spans 5 years. So I guess she would be
I
10.
think.
She'd be like 9 or
Yeah,
10.
I think she's 9. Yeah.
Like, that's certainly not a fucking 9-year-old. A girl's
No,
too
she
articulate to be
looks
9.
13, 14. She was one of the daughters in Evil Dead Rise. I was
Was
wondering why
she?
she looked familiar. Yeah, I think she was the baby daughter in Evil Dead
Oh
Rise.
shit! I need to go back
She
and
was
watch it.
the younger sibling.
That's
Yeah, yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
I didn't
This is the
realize.
same actress.
Was she blonde in that too?
But I think so.
Oh wow, I do not remember that. I need to go back and look.
Yeah. Yeah, she was really good in Rise. So I hate to see somebody get recast, but they recast with like a strong young actress. Um I mean, which age appropriate, for what they were doing. Um yeah, I mean it's like there's plenty to critique. There's still plenty of like plot holes. Where it ends is satisfactory to me. It's hit or miss. Like, but they put what, 200 million into this finale
Oof,
altogether?
damn.
It was either 200 or it was 20. It was some big ass number.
Do you think
So it's like they
11?
put it's
Do you think 11 is dead?
I like the theory that Mike crafted for all of their futures, so I choose me personally as a fan, I like to go along with that.
I
So I'm
believe.
okay being, yeah, it's like I like to believe Mike's theory. It's of the semi happily ever after. It's like, yeah, she won't be able to like reach out to them or be with Mike or anything. And yeah, it is a little bit preposterous that 8 held off her own death long enough to make sure her friend gets away. It's a little ridiculous, but hey, Stranger Things has a lot of ridiculous shit in it.
Yeah. That said,
Stranger things have happened.
right. I don't think anybody else has talked about this, at least to my knowledge on the internet.
Mm.
I think Vecna's for sure dead. I don't think the Mind Flayer is dead.
Yeah, they killed it fast as fuck, didn't they?
They did, but also, if you remember, because I just rewatched it like right before the new season started. So
Mm.
they in season 2 they exercised the fucking particles out of will, and 11 closed the gate. So
Mm.
the particles just fucked off and were dormant because they didn't have access to the upside down or the abyss anymore. And once the
Mm.
Russians opened the gate in season 3, the particles reactivated, and which is why we got the invasion of the body snatchers thing. They killed the Mind
Yeah.
Flayer in its home turf, and then they released the kids, and then the particles flew into the air. And those particle clouds are what the Mind Flayer is
Mm.
made of. And there was fucking 12 of those
Right.
kids all releasing those particles. So I don't think it's dead. I think it's badly injured. I don't think
Oh.
it's dead.
I could go along with that theory. Like, yeah, Henry Vecna one is for sure dead. And I'm glad they went like multi-chop. They should have taken the head back with them, honestly. That's my
Yeah.
thought, but maybe that's the psycho in me. And even his backstory was interesting to engage with because it also has bits of like lore from the stage play. Some of it is canon, some of it is not. Gotta love mixed media narratives that don't have the same creative team. Um, but yeah, that would make sense because my thought is like, that can't be like the only mind flayer too. Like I'm still in the middle of Baldur's Gate 3 all these years later. It's not only one mind flayer. It's a lot of these motherfuckers. Like in D&D that it gets its name from. It would stand to reason that in a dimension of psychotraumatic beings, that it's like, even if it's not dead, this ain't the only one. Like, you didn't wipe out the species. You didn't wipe out the godmama. It's like Cloverfield. Yeah, you got one.
Yeah. Right. It's
you
like the
know,
baby compared to whatever it is that's actually the threat. But the Duffer did say that the spinoff show would take place in a different decade and would have to do with the rock that infected Henry.
sure.
Why not?
Why not?
Also, I haven't seen anyone else talk about this. And maybe I should make more fucking YouTube or TikTok videos, whatever. So the scientist
I
guy
think same.
shot him through the hand, right? And that's the
Mhm.
hand that he picked it up with that got all
Yeah,
infected.
yeah,
That's the same
yeah.
hand that's his big ass Freddy Krueger hand.
Oh, that's interesting. That's a cool
Yeah,
detail.
yeah. He has a regular sized hand and a big Freddy Krueger claw.
No, that's creative. That's interesting, especially because they got Robert England to play was it his dad
His dad, yeah.
in prison? Yeah, that was really cool.
Another thing is, I don't know if you follow this at all. The the play, like Stranger Things First Shadows.
Yeah, yeah. First Shadow. I got the rundown from Screen Crush.
So yeah,
Screen Crush or Screen one of them.
it is this weird thing where they wanted to have their cake and eat it too, because
That's what I was. Yeah.
because they would reference the play and the fact that Vecna and Joyce and Hopper and Steve's dad and all them, they went to high school together, which doesn't make any fucking sense because
Right.
in season 4, that nigga was
Aren't
12.
they?
He
Aren't
was
they
like
very
12.
different ages?
Huh?
Yeah. I was gonna say, aren't they all like very different ages?
Yeah, so in season 4, he looks straight up like a kid, like 12-year-old. But they're trying to say that no, he was actually in high school when that happened because he didn't kill his parents until he was in high school.
Mhm.
So that shit doesn't make sense.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That's very inconsistent.
Also, the fact that Hopper and Joyce knew Vecna but never reference it in season 5 because they
Yeah,
didn't
just
want to
never
step.
bring up that they know Henry Creel.
Yeah, they didn't want to step on the toes of the show, which you have the biggest show on Netflix, but you don't want to spoil things for your audience or get step on the people's toes for people who don't have access to seeing your play. Which I'm like, a very small portion of your audience is allowed to see Vecna's origin story, unless
Mhm.
they go to New York or go to London.
Right.
So I'm like, that just feels like a weird choice for me to include any of that stuff if you're not gonna allow people to see it on a wider
Mhm.
audience. But you can't do a
Yeah.
video thing of it because then you're taking away money from the stage show.
I mean, you can Hamilton it, but they'll have to wait till it go through its official run. Like Hamilton is still uh touring despite the fact that like the Disney Plus version is out there. But yeah, for convenience sake, it's like they're gonna have to wait till it has like a couple year run
Yeah.
before they try to do any Netflix release. So it'll probably be like maybe after or in the middle of the run of the spin-off show or what have you. They might be able to pull something out their ass, but yeah, like oh, what do you think about the Will coming out scene? Because I was not nearly as bothered as the internet was like drumming up a pitching a bitch fit tent to make it seem about like, oh, it was handled badly and blah blah. Like, I get the timing is awkward, but the whole point of the sequence, at least from my understanding, is like Vecna weaponizes your fears and anxieties against you. He did kind of he did need to like get that off his chest. Now, the execution of it, yeah, you can talk about like script writing and delivery and kind of the vagueness of it. He's a gay teenage boy in the 80s. I would imagine he doesn't have the most emotionally literate way to make sense of how he feels. He just needed to be accepted, and they got to that point. I thought it was fine,
Yeah.
you know. Like it's
I
like that's how your fucking friends should be. It's like, look, man, we don't give a fuck. We love you for you. Good.
I wish they said the words. I wish he said the words "I'm gay." He said
Sure.
everything but it. He was just like
Yeah.
heavily implied it without actually saying it.
Fair. Also very fair. Yeah, to just be loud about it. But which also, to be fair, I am forgetting the other girl's name. Not Nancy, not Holly, not Max.
Robin,
Robin. Like Robin never out and says that like I'm a lesbian, but she doesn't need to. You
but
know.
no, but he didn't. He said he doesn't like girls, not like that. But he never explicitly
Right.
said that he likes boys. But
Right.
Robin
Oh,
did say that she
fair.
likes girls.
True. Very true. Um. Yeah. So that would have been actually a nice parallel.
Yeah.
Actually, had they included the direct line.
That said,
Um.
between the two coming out scenes, I do prefer Robin's because it was very intimate and it was very
Mhm,
sincere. Where
mhm.
and should all of his friends know? Sure, but maybe I think it was more so the timing of everything rather than the fact that it was happening.
Yeah, and it's like the timing isn't great due to the urgency of it to kind of like take 5, 10 extra minutes. But I also get
I
why.
get the
I
narrative
don't know
intent.
if there was like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I think it does add a little bit more attention to it because there's a sense of urgency and he's like taking a while to get to the point. But it's like, yeah, if you're scared 16, 17-year-old kid, trying to be honest about your feelings and not having the words for it, especially in the 80s, like it all lines up because I don't think a situation like that, like as much as you can criticize the consistency in character writing of the show, as well you should, that one made a lot of sense to me. That was like the most probably regular way to go. And the fact that he was openly accepted without hostility or pushback because there are like bigger things to worry about than like being a homophobe. It's like I think it adds a good type of perspective. It's like in the grand scheme of things in this life, there are situations much bigger than who my friend like is attracted to. But so it's like it puts in perspective the how I explain it to people. It's like the shadow of the perceived threat is not the same as the intensity of it.
Mm.
So like the perceived threat is just being gay, which we all know is nebulous. It's a non-factor. It doesn't matter. But the shadow of it is big. It's
Yeah.
as big as a mind flayer. So you're worried about how people will treat you because it is an actual risk, even though it shouldn't be. The real scale of the matter should not be an issue. But the fact that Vecna could use this against me and we're about to risk our lives, it's basically either Basically, I'm gonna say this or die trying.
Yeah.
Because either way, he's gonna try to kill us. So better me to get this out than he takes advantage of it.
I'm still wondering how he would have taken advantage of it. He just like outs him on the battlefield.
Maybe, you know? Hey, he likes boys. No, no,
No.
no.
I stand with Will. I stand with Will. Or just like they're all like
I stand with. Start all holding his hand.
they're all
Mike holding
holding
his
hands, and
hand.
then he's just like
Oh,
lifting him up as they're all holding hands.
you. Oh, so you know what I thought was gonna happen?
What?
And it was a later scene. They were really fucking with the shippers with this one, and it made me laugh when he's like,
Oh, the
when
best
they're on top
friend.
of the best when they're on the radio tower, it's like, we're not just friends. And I'm watching, I'm like, we're brothers. He's like, we're best friends. I'm like, I don't know which one's worse. Cause I thought he was gonna be like, we're more than friends, we're brothers. I'm like, yeah, that would immediately shut your dick down. Yeah, man, we're homies, homeboys for life, brothers like this.
Brothers.
Nothing sexual
Platonic
here.
brothers.
We're platonic brothers with no implications further.
Just look into
You've
the
seen me
camera.
kiss my girlfriend. Yeah, it's like we're platonic friends. But best friends with a very, I'm like, nah, they should have went with brothers. I would have cut that right there. But it's like, we're not just friends, we're best friends. It's like, oh, all right.
We're best brothers.
We're best brothers. We're like brothers, Squidward, only close. What do you think about the future placement for Mike's theory of everybody? Because we talked about it a little bit, but I need to let people know where I stand.
I liked it. I know you're probably gonna bring it up what we were talking about before the call.
Yeah, I'll let you speak your piece.
I liked it. I wish we would have just overall found out what the fuck happened between Dustin and Susie. I'm assuming that he broke up with her because he was mourning Eddie, and they were long distance in the '80s, so that was never gonna work out. But another thing is when Mike was telling his story, I wish he would have zoomed in on the script and he was actually and so the top and he's writing Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, yeah, that's what I thought too.
But Dustin and Steve reuniting with him in college, that touched me. I was bawling like a baby in the theater at everybody's endings. Will was nice, but the internet's gonna do what the internet fucking does, and then make all these pictures about Will being in Milwaukee, and they show him at the bar, and then the back when they show Jeffrey Dahmer at the fucking bar too.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. Let that little ass man be happy.
Right.
Let that boy be happy.
Right. Let him be in peace, please. Please.
Right. Let him have his entire like teenage years were spent being traumatized by one evil ass white boy. Let him have his man.
Right.
That isn't Mike, by the way. Mike is like, don't get me wrong, I like Mike as a character. Yes, him and Will are very tight homeboys, best friends, some would say. Some would say they're roommates. But like, just let him move on. Like, as somebody that has had to move on from a high school crush, let these motherfuckers move on. Okay. Not everybody's gonna make it out that small town just because they're in the small town together.
Speaking of people that were in the closet, did you also think that Mr. Clark was gay?
The science teacher?
Yeah.
I didn't, but I can see it now that you mention it.
Okay. In season 1, when they showed him, like they woke him up and he was with the girl, I was like, really?
Oh.
Oh, all right.
Oh, okay. So like bi, maybe?
Maybe. Shit.
B for boys? Is that his friend he's waking up with? Why are they naked?
Boyology?
Yeah. Bi, like boys?
But
bi as in yeah.
I mostly liked everybody's stories and where they ended up and whatnot. But yeah, man, what'd you think?
Yeah. Do you think 11 is alive?
I do. I do think she's alive, and there's part of me between me thinking the Mind Flayer is not dead and thinking 11's alive that they'll do an It Chapter 2 and 27 years later, and they all come back as adults.
Oh my God, we got to do Stranger Things 2027 or some shit where it's like, oh, the Mind Flayer's back in Hawkins, and all the kids have to come back into town, and Mama Byers has like a silver streak in her hair.
Oh yeah,
now because all the time has passed, and the people that couldn't get to come back to the cast are dead or some shit or written out. It's like, oh my God, who's your boy? Lucas has like, a regular hairline, but like locks now, and
oh
is played by
yeah,
Aldous Hodge or some shit.
I would love that. That would be awesome. Yeah, I
That
just
would
did it
be
because the events of the show took place in 1987.
hating.
I know
Yeah,
they ended in 89, but the main
yeah.
events took place in 87. So if you did the 27 years later, that would be 2014.
20, oh God, imagine the music.
Yeah. That would be fucking
They,
funny.
or they do some real stupid shit where it's like they the Mind Flayer comes back and throws them in the alternate dimension, but all of a sudden, due to time displacement and wormhole bullshit, they come out in 2014 to like
Yeah.
a dystopia, and now they have to save the world from the Mind Flayer, but the kids have only aged a couple years, but it's been like decades. Ooh. So it's like Lucas is like, actually the age he is now. But they pop out the wormhole. It's like, what's going on? What's an iPod? Like, whoa, is that a Zune? Really, nigga? A Zune?
Or they do the even cringier thing. Or they could do the thing where they recast them as adults and they all have kids, but the kids are just the actors from the 80s.
Oh my God. Oh, I'd put a water gun in my mouth and pull the trigger. Just nothing but vodka. Just that'd be the only thing that could get me through that. But not all the references are like meta references. So it's not like references to Ghostbusters, it's references to Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Oh my God.
It's like, it's not references to Rocky, it's references to Creed.
Oh my God. That would be hilarious and awful.
because because like the late 2010s to early 2020s were just peak 80s 90s nostalgia. It's like, boy, I love the Ninja Turtles. I wonder where they are now. Still here, motherfucker.
Right here.
Man, D&D has changed so much. Yeah, we're on 5th edition. Still around. It's like, whoa, what happened? Like, everything's so different now. Not really. Cars are more round. That's about it. Oh my God.
Yeah. So how
So
that
yeah,
would work? Yeah, I'm trying to think. So Mike would have a kid with somebody else, and then that kid would just look like the guy who plays Mike now. Robin.
Dustin would be a hoe.
Oh yeah. Oh for sure.
Dustin would be out here just breaking
Slinging.
hearts left and right.
Right. Slinging heavy. What's his name? I feel like. Hmm. Oh no, I don't know if they would go there with that. That's kind of fun.
What?
So I was thinking, like, okay, how do we get Maya Hawk, uh, the guy who played Steve, and Will back? Like, oh god, Robin. Robin will be a surrogate for Steve and for Will, and then that's how.
No, no, that is his uncle. That's his play uncle. We can't do that.
Uh,
Nah, we gotta. Nah, Will is gonna meet somebody in college who's more interesting than Mike, and Mike gets jealous.
no, I'm not saying like they're not gonna sleep together, but like he wants a
No,
kid
I
of his
know.
own. That's when they get together when they're older because he doesn't have 11. He starts exploring, and then Byler happens.
And winds around. No, what's gonna happen is Will is gonna find a dude that like is like Mike 2.0. So he's like just as creative and but he's not gonna realize it till he introduces him to Mike. Um
Uh,
and they're gonna have like it's gonna be a different actor, but it's gonna be like a similar haircut. He's like, oh wow, that's like we have so much in common. Everyone's like, what are you talking about? This guy he like takes off his shirt and he has a 6-pack, and Mike is just normal. And it's like Jonathan Bailey, but with like Mike's haircut, and he's just super nice and charming. He's like, yeah, this guy is great. It's like, and Mike's like, he's not that great. I mean, he's okay. He's not your best friend though. He's like, yeah, but he's like my husband. yeah,
and his name's Ike.
his name's Ike. It's like, wow, what does he do? It's like he's a writer. It's like, ooh, I think I've seen your books. And Mike's like, and I write too. Like, yeah, but he's like, yeah, I've just had my 3rd New York Times bestseller. It's like, well, I mean, I'm like top seller at Hawkins local bookstore or whatever. Like, Mike's just gonna be really insecure.
Oh yeah, that would definitely be it.
But he's also like not gay still. Like,
Right, right.
he's still straight the whole time. He's just jealous of Ike. That's his wigger. And then like 11's gonna show up for some reason. She's gonna have to shave her head again.
Oh yeah, of course.
For like a reason that they're gonna argue. It's like, oh, it's interfering with my focus. Just cut all that shit off. Like,
He's back. The mind flayer.
yeah, here's the mind flare returns. In Avengers Doomsday up. Like, obviously, Lucas and Max aren't going to be together. That's the one that we need to let people know now. Lucas and Max are not staying together into college. I need you to know this now, because that show ends on 1989. We are about to enter prime elite and don't get me wrong, there's never been a period without elite black girls, but the New Jack Swing early 90s era of black women, like mid-era Soul Train, peak hip-hop right before Biggie and Tupac took off era of black women. This is a different world, Cosby Show, Fresh Prince era black women these will be Lucas's college years. Him and Max will not be staying together. There's gonna be like he's gonna be in his ethics class for a criminal justice degree, and there's gonna be like a black girl named Keisha or Rebecca, and it's like, yeah, I like your cut, but let my homeboy hook you up, and he's gonna get a fresh fade. He's gonna, be on a basketball scholarship, but he's actually smart and knows how to read and write. So so it's just like, hey, Lucas, you want to come out to us with this party? And he's gonna be like, hey, Max, I'll get up with you later, but I gotta go. Click. Yeah, Keisha, I'm on the way. And Max is gonna be like, who's Keisha? I gotta go. Click. Like, it's a wrap for them. There were no other black kids at Hawkins. The most different one there was a ginger.
So I'm trying to think of
It was a ginger with some spice. And here's the thing. They're going to break up. It's going to be completely amicable. And all the shippers are going to be mad when they meet up. And all of a sudden, like, it's Aldous Hodge and, like, Jessica Chastain. Or, no, it's going to be Aldous Hodge and Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yup.
Like Max is going to be a grown woman with all this body all of a sudden. And Aldous Hodge is not going to be phased at all. And everyone's going to be like, oh my God, don't they look so good together? And he's going to have his black ass wife that's going to be like Nia Long or some shit. And his sister's going to be Regina Hall. What's the sister's name again?
Erica.
Erica's going to be Regina Hall. Still as sassy as ever. And I don't know. She going to be with the fuck kid. The kid with the glasses, what's his name? Dustin
Derek?
Or whatever? Not Dustin. Derek. She's going to be with
Derek.
Derek's going to be all normal and shit now. Derek's going to be like Chris Evans.
I'm trying to think what Lucas's spinoff would be. I was thinking Different Things.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that. Different Things. Yo, Different Things. Well, that's it. That's a fucking bar right there, brother. You heard it here first. Different things. It's gonna be like Grownish meets Stranger Things. It's gonna
I
be
was thinking
different things in this bitch.
I was tossing between different things and Strange New World.
Different things is it. That's it right there. Caleb McLaughlin's gonna return in 2028 for different things where he's in college. You know, he's gonna be with like Yara Shahidi or some shit. She's gonna be like an upperclassman that shows him the ropes. We're pulling everybody. No, it's gonna be him and Holly Bailey.
Yo, probably.
She gonna have that Janet Jackson look on lock. Just complete. She's gonna be Janet Jackson, but like Nutty Professor 2 Janet Jackson, where she's super smart. And she's gonna be like studying chemistry, and he's gonna need help in chemistry class, and one thing leads to another. I'm writing just a whole other movie.
Oh, you are. You're writing different things.
Yeah, I'm writing different things. He's gonna be at HBCU. This nigga finna be at Howard. He gonna be hooping.
It's gonna be the first time he's around his own people because
Right.
Hawkins was white as hell.
Yeah,
There were 3 black kids in Hawkins: Erica, him, and that one little dude who was who peeked through the hole. You remember it?
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I thought you were talking about in season 5 because there was like that one little black kid.
There's that one little black
boy.
kid. Yeah, the same one who's like one of the kids. But there's a moment in I think in the 4th episode where that little girl snitched on them and they're going through the tunnel, and then he like he turns back and then goes down to the hole. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't think I do, but I would believe you if you said there's 3 black kids in Hawking and 2 of them are related.
Yep. So, yeah, because I'm trying to think if there's any other ones. No, literally no. But yeah, he don't have a spinoff, and he's gonna really come into himself and eventually grow some locks. And I'm excited for Lucas.
Yeah, different things is going to hit. That's going to be the spinoff right there. It's just going to be all about. It's going to be about Lucas in college and Erica in high school.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It being the smartest kid in her class, but having to deal with like racial tension because it's like Lucas is going to be around all black people, but then Erica's still going to be at home fending for herself with no black people, except for like that one other little ass boy that she saved who keeps thinking that they're friends, but they're not. That's the whole. That's different things. It's going to be 1/2 of Lovecraft Country. The real monster is racism.
Exactly.
You know, and it's just like, Mom, Dad, I don't know what to do. You know, I'm the smartest in my class. They never give me but they always mark my answers wrong in class. It's like, well, that's racism, baby. And there's going to be a lesson at the end of every episode. It's going to be 30 minutes each. It's going to be just a regular TV show. It's like, oh man, Stranger Things got real regular. It's like, yeah, bitch, we can't have regular shows.
I wouldn't be mad at it. I really would.
I would watch the fuck out of different things.
Oh yeah, no, same here. Shit. Let's get that spinoff going. You heard us here.
Exactly.
You heard it, Netflix. Let's get Lucas a spinoff.
Different things. I'll throw some ducats in it to be a producer on that. I'll help with some of the scripts.
Same.
Anything else before we move on to our last 2?
No, I think we got it covered, man. I think we did it.
Yeah, we squared it up. All right. So speaking of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Pluribus, a very strong show from Vince Gilligan on Apple TV Plus. Premise basically, a lonely, bitter author who happens to be a lesbian, is one of 12 surviving people after a virus happens to the planet that unites everyone in what is functionally a hive mind. And here's my trajectory of it. The first like episode and a half, I'm like, she's a little annoying, but she's not that bad. And then like halfway in episode 2, I'm like, I hate this bitch. she is very well written, and I can't stand her ass.
Yep.
But it's a very interesting, thought-provoking show about ethics and the human condition.
Yeah.
And it ends on a very intriguing note for season 2. But I think it's well acted, it's well scripted, it's incredibly well produced. There's like, you could have a dialogue, I think, after each episode about like the focus and what they seek to achieve. And this may shock uh uh people, but honestly, if I had a choice, I would probably join them motherfuckers.
Really?
Yep. Like if I had a choice, if it would be cool to be one of the last ones left for like 3 months, maybe four. Um, I I give it like a good trial run for maybe a year at best, and then be like, cool, I'm ready to go.
But essentially, that's the death of you.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Why do you think you?
Like
Why do you think you would give into the collective?
it's like, don't get me wrong, I do think there is a value of individuality. So it's like it is interesting to look at the show, especially as like a black person, when a lot of what we run into is the lack of ability for people to provide empathy for the diversity of human experience. A lot of what we run into in the history of this country is a disregard and flagrant disrespect to those that are different.
Yeah.
Um, so this is one of the few, maybe only ways where I've seen a sort of collectivism that, while there are some drawbacks to it, like the whole we have to eat people for sustenance and we can't like kill and make our own food thing. And we also kind of like share that. It's it's the only one I've seen that, while it's not idealized, and I don't think that's the message that they're going for, it does seem structurally sound without running into even further ethical quandaries. Like a big one is if you are, and again, maybe I'm just thinking about this because I'm a man. Um, do you violate consent if everyone in a hive mind would just like say they'd have sex with you because it would make you happy? That is a really uncomfortable and dubious kind of moral gray area that I think is kind of hard to have an answer for.
Yeah, because I feel like they're you
Because it's like
violate
you,
consent if they agree. Because I think they're collectively agreeing. Because I think,
yeah,
yeah, sexual desire, does it go away
because
if you're part of the
because I
collective?
and it gets weird. It gets into a lot of ethical gray areas because it's like, if everyone shares this, one, that means everyone.
Where everyone's,
And
but
there's some,
they specified. Not everybody's feeling it, but everyone's aware.
yeah, everyone's aware of it. So it's kind of like your windows and doors are open, so everyone knows what's going on. Um, at that same token, it's, a lot of taste is individual. Until they like are prompted to reflect on what that individual liked. Um, but what? Oh yeah, it's still recording. Okay, so we're good. Yeah, so it's like, because like taste is subjective, you know. So and we even get an episode that even addresses that a little bit of just like, what do you personally like as like your favorite food? And she was like, oh, mango ice cream. But it's like, we like what you like. We'll do it if it makes you happy. That gets into a weird place where it's like, you're not doing this because it makes, even in a state of constant euphoria, it's not, I would like to do this. It's not an enthusiastic consent. Where it's like, yes, I would like to have sex with you. Or even something simple as like, I would like to make you food. Even at like a baseline, it's, you're hungry and you said, hey, making food would make me happy, so I'm going to make you food. Now, granted, that is how relationships can operate, where sometimes we do think, but if that's all the time, that could teeter into a line of abuse. So even if it's like, well, I'm doing it only to make you happy, am I taking advantage of you and
Yeah,
and
you're
your kindness?
yeah, because they're pleasing you because pleasing you makes them happy, but also makes them happy to the ends of them eventually trying to assimilate you.
Oh, correct. It is still like a tactic that facilitates emotional manipulation from
I
them.
mean, yeah, I think it's yeah, it is a mutual because they're trying to take away your individual and autonomy, and you're
Yeah.
taking advantage of their kindness. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
uh, I don't know if it's conditional kindness because they willing to give Carol an atom bomb, but
Yeah.
not temporary kindness. I'm trying to think of the word, but that the thing you're experiencing will not last forever because they will assimilate you.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much, or they're going to continue to seek to find ways to assimilate, um, one way or another.
And it's interesting the way that they defined it because it's not a virus and it's not aliens. It's essentially activating a part of your DNA that was already
Hmm.
there within it, but it's just
Yeah,
giving that component that allows access to that.
which is a very interesting, I think, work through for how this like pseudo or semi like virus, this radio wave thing, operates. It's very interestingly in terms of how it's thought through. But it's like it. I think for me, it is probably the only situation where I would choose assimilation just because it is functionally universal.
Yeah, mm, yeah.
Because
But
it's like,
who's
but
writing? They'll love Carol's work, right? Who's writing books after that? You guys aren't.
yeah,
There's no more conversation. There's no more
yes,
jokes.
yes,
There's
yeah,
no more family. Everybody's the family. I don't know.
yeah. It's and that's the daunting thing. It's like now this is me personally, and I'm not trying to make an argument for it. I'm more so uh explaining the reasoning for myself. Because if people chose to just be themselves, and this even we watched this happen to Carol, um, I think that's just as much of a sensible option. That makes just as much sense. But also, you see her start to go fucking insane.
Yeah, she's very lonely.
Yeah, so it's like the sacrifice of in this context what is not only collectivism but collective assimilation is isolation. And I don't think the show is interested in giving a right or wrong for it, which I give them credit for, because that can be a very easy thing of like, even when she was saying, hey, we have to figure out how to stop this because of who she is as a character and how she presents her argument. It does not make me interested to kind of like some of the other people from the 12. It doesn't make me interested in wanting to side with her. Now, granted, again, what they're doing is manipulation. They want people to assimilate. I think the only reason for me, I would be okay with that flattening of myself is because everybody's flattened. So it's like it's a little bit kind of like Thanos' glove, where it's like it is 50% of everything randomly. So it's like engaging with like cultural assimilation is different because that is very much targeted from one to harm another or erase something, which is like this is not targeted until there are like targets established. Like the targets are only established because they are in absence
But it is essentially
of the
suicide.
brawn. Yes, absolutely. It is identity suicide. That is what is required to achieve this. So on like a real scale, that is bad.
Yeah, essentially universal hive mind assimilation is the only way to achieve world peace.
Yes. But there is a major sacrifice of it, and it is the sacrifice of what I think you would argue is philosophically what makes us human.
But also, if you think about that though, right?
Mhm.
Wouldn't that isn't that route doesn't that route lead to the end of humanity?
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like philosophically, it erases what it is to be human.
Not only
We
that, but I don't think sex would be a thing anymore. I don't think they have the need to have sex if everyone's together like that. So just
yeah.
this
It,
generation of humans just dies off.
yeah. Which it because and like they said, their primary focus is to spread it to other organisms.
Yeah, throughout the
And other
galaxy.
yeah, throughout the galaxy. Which yeah, it is if they achieve that, um, it could be the end, theoretically, it could be the end of organic life unless they uh, find a sort of utility in sustenance. But especially if we're already on a planet that's overpopulated, and they're having people die off in the millions throughout the series, and they said they had about what, roughly 10 years realistically of like harvest and everything left. It's it is not so it's the end of organic life. It is not only it is functionally the erasing of organisms as we would understand it. You trade autonomy for euphoria, but this and world peace, but it requires like the major sacrifice. And it's like, would you be comfortable with that? And for me, ironically, in a selfish way, that's why.
Mm. So I guess art in a way is just coping slash because the art dies if when
Yes.
collectivism lives.
Yes. In this explicit format, yeah. Art, everything that requires a individual touch, because your individuality is a culmination of interpretation and experiences and understanding and beliefs and faiths and things like that. It's flattened. It is erased all in that moment where functionally all of humanity and culture is now 12 people.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And so it's like, I think for me, where it boils down to in a selfish way is rather having euphoria and uh feeling a part of something than being alone with that freedom. That is not something I think I would ever say in any other situation. Because, like I said, I'd probably feel it out for a year. I'd probably hit that psychosis point at some point, though. I'm either going to get bored or die.
Do you feel like that's tough? Because like, just imagine you're in like what's the name of our other character? Menudos
Uh,
or
yeah. Is that his name?
but imagine seeing your partner who doesn't act like your partner anymore, but is just part of this
Right.
collective. How do you think that would make you feel?
It would. Menusos.
Menusos.
Um, and that was even one of the things I thought about, and I'd be curious what your thoughts are too. It'd fuck me up.
Yeah, that fucked me up too.
Um, it would. I can't. Sorry, it's actually making me emotional. Um, because the person that I love and I'm with is who they are. You know, I'll be getting married next year. So one of the things with the vows is like in sickness and in health, for better or for worse, the things that are better and best, and the nooks and crannies and flaws that make them them are why I fell in love with them. So if I saw that gone, it would fuck me up. It would be hard to imagine life where and it's like where it goes from I am choosing to do life with you because you bring me joy and we're making a choice of exchange to you are trying to get me to join you, but I am going to do what makes you happy as almost a sense of obligation. So that'll make you almost like I'm I am getting you comfortable for the death that is inevitable.
Yeah. So it was like, yeah, giving you
And
your last request before the the death of your individuality.
yeah, that's what it is, and that's what would be fucked up because it's like you're not choosing life with me, you're choosing death for me.
Mm,
So let me at least make it a comfortable death.
fuck.
Yeah. So it's like if what is presented is an option to have that facsimile of life in a selfish way, ironically, that would probably motivate the choice to join.
I was gonna say, yeah. Do you think you'd still live with them? Because now your partner is your mom, your sisters, your
Mhm.
dad.
Mhm. That collective awareness, because like, that was another thing is does, uh, shame exist for somebody that's not Carol, um, in a world where everybody's informed and nobody is judging?
I think only happiness and sadness exist, from my understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
they
like,
can get angry, but they can feel sadness and emotional
mm,
pain, but they're largely
yeah,
just euphoric.
yeah. So it's like, let's say you have, say you're a nigga that's in defeat, but you feel ashamed about it. Does that exist now that everybody knows and nobody cares?
Your shame may still be there, but there's no more judgment, which gives your shame and fears no base to be existed upon.
Yeah, so it's like, how long do you, if you're some of your emotional reactions are based off of like fear of perception, like, you have a lot of people today that say they hate being perceived. Um, because it's like there is that judgment, there is that weird kind of views that people take. If you take away that, how does that impact the individual then? If you flatten what it means to be human to, like you said, basically being happy and sad, but there's not like judgment, or really there's consideration, but there's not like a whole lot of like care that's specialized, beyond just like keeping you alive and safe. It's like, how long does that persist? It's like, I wonder, like, how much of the DSM kind of gets like something like mourning. How does that operate in a system, uh, with very unique conditions? So it's like, would they feel pain? Do they mourn when one of them passes? I forget if they even, I think they did might have personally addressed that.
I don't think they mourn
Yeah.
because, yeah, they're all one person. I don't know if they.
Yeah. Like there might be, it's kind of like how we'll say, "Oh, I love them like human to human, like in a godly sense, but I don't maybe have a particular specific love towards them." So it's almost like you hear somebody dies in the news and you're like, "Oh, that's sad," but I don't have like a personal attachment.
No.
So it's like there may be like a sympathetic. Does it make grief sympathetic but not empathetic? And what does empathy look like in a world where only 12 people are like truly going through the full gamut of the human condition?
I have to imagine part of them would be grateful, and I imagine with a collective mind like that, there is a healthy relationship with death, and
Mhm.
there is no fear of what's on the other side because they understand that it's because there's no mourning because they are still them. They're
Yeah.
all collective, so it's not like they're
No.
mourning something that is gone because they're everything that's gone is still there. That person's memories and everyone who ever experienced them. Um, but in a fucked up way, maybe they're even slightly happy because it's one more food source.
Yeah. It's like, especially with, I think it's what is it like 8 people die and 10 babies are born like every second or something like that. So it's like going off of however many are left on the planet. What does that look like? This show invites a lot of questions about probably the most interesting apocalypse I've seen in recent memory. I think the second most interesting one was, aside from anything from Shin Megami Tensei, um, Annihilation.
Mm.
It's interesting for extraterrestrial, but it also kind of implies, hey, this is spreading. But but yeah, Pluribus is like apocalypse of organic life. It's a case of, if the pursuit is absolute euphoria, what happens after you achieve it? because you say you can't do harm to anything organic and you can only produce resources. Like, how far does that that was one of the questions I was having, is like, how far do those mechanisms kind of extend just through like the domino effect of choices?
Yeah.
Because it are so, it is the most hyper collectivist society, um and they can't do harm, so it's like, what does that do to things? For like, do you still make paper, or from the, well, I guess they did answer that, where it's like they use the resources at their disposal, but it's like, okay, it's granted, that was one of my thoughts too. I would immediately start fixing shit if it's just me. I'm like, cool, get this gas power out, bring in this wind and solar power in. We're gonna start moving technology into the 31st fucking century. Like, get these gas powered cars off the street. We're gonna break down all this red line. Bring down those folks that aren't safe in the mountains. We're bringing them into these towns. Like, we're making life hospitable. Is probably how I'd go. Like, my first couple months. I mean, yeah, I get wild and crazy. Maybe throw parties and drink and shit like that. Where it'd be like a world of very limited consequences. But I think it's very interesting to put the majority of the show from a very privileged and unhappy queer woman and a very poor, um, angry South American man. Was he Panamanian?
I don't remember what his.
Or he went to Panama. But yeah, it's like, so those kind of polar worldviews even informs a lot of how they engage with the collective, where she's very abrasive. Like, I don't know if you noticed this. I think in the entire show, to none of them, I don't think she ever says please or thank you to the collective. If I recall it, at no point, I don't, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I don't think she ever says that to any of them. Like, even when I thought she was finally going to say it when she broke and wrote it on the ground to the drone, and all it said was "come back." It wasn't "please come back." It wasn't "I miss you." It was just "come back." It was an order, and that's another thing that, like, maybe this is my Southern hospitality showing through, but it's like, those were little things that pissed me off. But it's also like, would I treat something like AI with the same level of humanity? Something that is also built off of a conglomeration and distilling of the approximation of the human experience, something that is functionally inhuman.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you would, because you I think in part of that, because like you're taught that that's the right thing to do, and then
Right.
we treat our neighbors how we want to be treated. But if and it's weird because like it's like a moral thing, but also in a way it's like a expectation of respect exchanged. But
Mm-hmm.
the person in which you're speaking of is a collective where that respect and care is automatic. It's not something that you do because it's not because it's right, but because that's what they feel. They have no need for malice
Yeah.
or unkindness or unpleasantries because they've achieved enlightenment.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that is interesting to speak to Carol. Yeah, she is kind of a grating antagonist, a protagonist.
Yeah.
She's for sure a bit of a Karen in that
Mm-hmm.
way. But it is, I think, having Manusos there is a nice counterbalance. I definitely enjoy watching him as a protagonist more than I enjoy Carol.
Agreed.
But I think
Very
the
agreed.
two of them together, now that they're on the same page, I'm
Mm-hmm.
very curious to see where the two of them go. And he's definitely had his own sense of struggle, but he has his own stubborn character traits that can cause clashing between the two of them. And now I'm curious, how a show like this can go for 5 years, can go for 5 seasons. Does it have that sort of longevity?
It, I can maybe see three. Um, but that's because I'm not in their writing room, and that's why they get paid, hopefully, the big bucks. Um, Yeah, it's like you said, I do think Manusos is a lot more interesting. A lot of it is because it was like his who he is as we understand him as a person. He's a lot more uh clinical
I think he's
with
clinical. I think he's tenacious. He's
yeah,
uncompromising. He is,
yeah.
he is the definition of stands on business.
Yeah,
And I feel like
he's methodical.
Carol, yeah, I feel like Carol is like very wavering. She's like a almost like a petulant child in that way. She's like wants
Very
to be
much.
defined, but also is relying upon them as well
And
because a
mhm.
privileged white woman can rely on people even if she doesn't like them.
and and it's like and I'm okay with them writing an unlikable protagonist, especially an unlikable protagonist that's a woman. That's okay. That doesn't bother me. I Carol's writing does not bother me at all, even though she elicits a negative emotional reaction out of me. I do think that's actually a sign of very strong character writing,
Yeah,
uh,
for
es-
sure.
especially getting the insight that a lot of her reaction to this collective is informed by trauma from conversion therapy
Yeah,
and
that
her
part's
experience with it. So it's like I it is interesting having that as be like a wrinkle where again it's like I still don't find myself empathizing with her, although I understand her, like we were talking about earlier, with like one battle after another. Where it's like, yeah, I get how this could make you feel and be the way that you are. It still doesn't get a pass for me. You still suck. You still like are doing the most. But I think part of that is even just her outlook on, it makes you wonder, especially with her being very much Karen coded. Why are you doing the thing that you try to get into a realm of trying to assess why someone thinks what they think. It's like, why are you doing the thing that you think is right? Because I think her and Manusos functionally are going to have different values about like, why does humanity matter to you? Is like the next question. And the answer for that is very different for the both of them.
yeah.
For for her, I think it's more selfish in so much as like, I don't want to be alone. And in a way, from a place of like, it's not like fair, but it's not fair because I don't want to be alone. Like if I have a choice, we're going to do the things that I want to do.
Yeah, hers is like, yeah, I don't want to be alone and it doesn't serve me. Whereas
Yeah.
Manusos is like, this is morally wrong that this is happening.
Yeah. Ironically, Manusos's ethos, I think, is more for the benefit of the collective of humanity. Even though he's still like, he's a dick in his own right, but I can probably empathize with him a little bit more. Even though it's like, I don't like the way that he fully behaves either. I don't find him to be the most likable, but he is more interesting, I think, to me, being, like a very standoffish, very guarded, very, like you said, stand on business man who's like, no, this is not right. And not right because I say it's not right, but because everyone should have they should be able to opt in
Yeah.
for what they do. They should be able to have a voice and a choice. It's like if one of you wants to be an asshole to me, or and especially it's like if I owe you something, I don't get the liberty. I don't get to be selfish and just
Yeah.
walk off without pay. I don't get to the benefit of just, it's like it's kind of like that value of hard work where it's like I don't get to benefit off of people's effort and labor without any sort of exchange. Which is
Yeah.
also in its own way a little bit bootstrappy of just like, no, I shouldn't I'm not entitled to being treated well because of maybe how I'm raised or the culture I'm brought in. It's like, no, you should be. It's like I would want people to have access to like free food, free education, free healthcare, and like
But
no major sacrifice.
but it speaks to the structure in which he's familiar with. Like
Right.
I think the fact that he even when he siphons gas out of cars, he still puts money in the windshield is just very like noble of him. I like
Yeah,
that. He does that.
and that's interesting because it's like it's noble and useless. Money
Yeah.
no longer serves a purpose. The stock market is done.
Right.
The the
But
death.
he aims to reverse it, and clearly
Yeah,
there seems to be a way because their aversion to wanting to answer.
yeah. So it's like the death of. It's like what I think there's another question in there of like, what are you trying to say and why? And I
I
don't
was gonna
think.
say,
And again, I don't think they're interested in having a right answer. I think they're interested in having interesting answers.
for sure. That said, if you found out there was a way to reverse it, would you?
I don't know, honestly. I want to say yes, because that would be what I believe is a moral answer, but I would wait until I would fix a lot of shit first. Because like we're not going back the way we came in.
Mm.
There'd be a lot of different. And again, this is very much a light Yagami magic book to change the world. How I'm saying it is very selfish. It's because I believe I'm doing what I would think is right. So I'm not deluding myself with the fact that this isn't a very selfish statement of just like I would shape the world in what I think is the right thing because I think I have the right beliefs and I think I have the right politics and shit before I would change it back. I would like to think my heart and my knowledge basis is in the right place and that I could work with them to be like, hey, what would be the best? And before I secretly flip the switch and put shit back to normal. But it wouldn't be easy and it wouldn't be fun and I wouldn't know what the consequences would be. So it would also be its own kind of query too of like if you could fix it, would you? I mean, what about you? What would you say?
I think I would. I think I would fix it
Mhm.
because I think there's value in the individual experience.
Mhm.
And though collectivism would be more peaceful,
Yeah.
I feel like yeah, but I like your thought process of there would be a lot of things that would need to change. And my hope, my optimistic hope is that in changing it, humanity would have the collective memory of what it was like to be joined
Mhm.
and move forward from there, realizing that we're not so different. So having the knowledge of what it's like to be united, then brought back to the individual self.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like how does that change you? How does that change the world and how we view things?
Yeah.
So it's like there's a lot of interesting I think philosophical conversations. I mean, like what because I don't think I gave you a chance to speak on it, but ultimately what were your feelings and sentiments towards the show?
I thought it was really good. I thought it was a show I kind of binged over the course of a couple of days.
Mm.
It's for sure definitely more character focused. It's more of a slow burn than what you'd probably expect from the creator of Breaking Bad. But
Hmm.
it does invite a lot of interesting conversations about humanity and autonomy and what is right and what is wrong. I think it's a very smartly written show. And I am curious to see how our characters go about it. I think it's a neutral show that invites a lot of interesting questions about, yeah, well, what does it mean to be human, and
Hmm.
is that the right in the face of an opportunity to become elevated, to experience unified euphoria?
Hmm.
It's a conversation that I never thought I would have because usually when you see the hive mind in movies, you're like, hive mind bad.
Right.
But this is treating it in a very civil way, which is unique to media, at least the media that I've been exposed to.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm thorough. I'm into it. I really dig it.
Yeah. I'm not interested in a right answer at the end of the day, I am interested in why these characters do what they do and where it's going to lead.
Yeah, that's that writer brain in you.
Yeah. Yeah, which is I think very much speaks strongly to how well Vince Gilligan and the team doing this show are doing, and also just like how it's shot. I don't know how they're doing all this filming and making it look so abandoned. I always get curious from a production standpoint. How do you make something like this? Like that whole sequence with the was it a Lowe's food or whatever at the grocery store? I'm so curious as to how they did that. Like, I'm sure it's like sets and location times and stuff like that, but to make a world look so empty is always interesting without it, like, feeling like, "Oh, this is part of a set." Like, when we watch, Avengers and they're in the wasteland of the compound and everything, I'm just like, "Yeah." But, I can see like, "Oh, yeah, they took out, like, an acre and built a set or everything or used some volume." But you got, like, depth of, like, houses and city blocks that they're driving through, or even like the Vegas sequence. Like you've been to Vegas, I've been to Vegas. How the fuck did you make it look like Vegas, but Vegas with no people? Make Vegas look
Yeah,
dead is a weird kind of. It brings a very hollow energy that's very interesting. I think from watching it, like from a production standpoint, I'm like, how the fuck did they do this? So I was like, I'd be really interested for like the BTS, but yeah, no, it's good. It is probably one of the most thought provoking series to come out of the year. Um, it's very strong. I'm very intrigued to see more about where it's going to go. Um, and I'm also interested to see when it's all said and done how they conclude it too, because it's like you got really two options where it's kind of like, and there's a lot of different ways to execute it, which is everybody lives or everybody dies. Sorry, humanity lives or humanity dies. There's like five different ways that you can make that happen though.
yeah, yeah. It's true, and I'm curious what they can do with that atom bomb because
Yeah.
crazy request that they give that they fulfilled, and that she has in their front lawn now, and yeah, it's a very interesting experiment that we have on our
Mhm.
hands, and curious to see where it goes.
Also, is it bad did I like Zosha? Maybe that's the programming.
No, she's very charming,
She's like,
very sweet, very warm person.
it's, yeah, it's like, damn, they might have got me. But bring out Wunmi Mosaka. It's like, come on, okay. It's
Right. Who?
like, come smell this jar. Okay. There we go. Oh no, she got me.
I'm the collective now.
It's like, oh man, they got me. Rats got me with the okey doke. Oh
Man, the
man.
reveal of the stem cells was crazy. Though I'm like, damn, you guys found a loophole
And I'm
for
annoyed
the
that it took me
eggs.
I'm annoyed it took me so long to figure that out.
Yeah,
Where
because
it,
this was just a one line that they had 7 years ago. So of
yeah,
course,
yeah, like when they brought up the because I remember them having it. And it's like, yeah, they need your stem cells. I'm like, okay. Then they're having the conversation like, have you figured out a way to convert me? And I'm like, and she's looking at her and I'm like, oh shit, the eggs. Like it didn't hit me till that conversation that they've had that I didn't put two and two together until like the seventh or the final episode. I'm like, damn, they set it up right there and I wasn't paying attention until they like damn near explicitly said it.
yeah. Also, you said you realized it right before they said it.
Yeah, it was like in the conversation where she's like in drilling Zosha about like if they had a way. And then it hit me. I'm like, oh, that's right. She froze her eggs.
Damn. Yeah. So they're gonna be after her ass next season. The
Yeah.
entire world.
Yeah. So
drop more. Drop more. Fucking. I don't know what the fuck they did. They found a way to pass it through the air because the planes were flying overhead.
mm. Oh, that's right. Yeah,
So
the way it spread was like light speed too.
Yeah.
Like I was expecting to be like a bit of a crawl where that was gonna be the focus of the episode. Nah, they converted everybody in about like 5 minutes of screen time. Like I'm sure it was like a lot slower in real time, but I was like, boom, boom. I'm like, shit,
Well, I think
we
it
got our
started off
asses fat.
slow because
It
yeah, it started
did.
off with a rat getting bit, and then the kissing, and then yeah, there's. I think it took them like a month before they were in
Hmm.
the world, which is wild. Still fast, given how many people are in the world.
Yeah, like billions in a month is wild work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Shit.
shit. Any other thoughts before we go into the last one?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. So last one, Martin supremacy. Um, we're gonna give our thoughts and then go into the critics' choice stuff.
I didn't know about the Critics' Choice stuff.
Oh, you didn't. Oh, we'll talk about the critics' choice stuff later. Um,
Did you see the
but
chat?
bet. Okay, so we can try and keep it brief. Um, great movie, great cast, well acted. Um, Seen it before, so it's like it's in my top 10. I don't know if it's in my top five. Again,
Where have you seen it before?
I've seen this type of character before of just like the unlikable asshole that fights his way to the top is like not a trope, but and it's I'm not gonna say it's like predictable. This movie is still very much unique in its own, and Timothy Chalamet brings in insane amount of like life and charisma because like there are points where I can like it, I related to Marty in so much as being a yapper, but seeing somebody use their powers for like the most nefarious shit is was like frustrating.
Oh yeah,
Um,
it was. Yeah, it was an interesting experience watching somebody who was low down dirty to
mhm,
get what he wanted, yet was so tenacious in his desire to achieve it.
yeah,
Just like he had literally no way of getting across the country, and his ego fucked up his opportunity to begin with.
yeah.
Then he had to humble himself to get there, just to fuck it again.
Yeah, to blow it all up in his face. So it's like, and apparently there's, I still need to see Uncut Gems, but this is apparently a trend with like Safdie movies. Um, but yeah, it's just, I, I think the character was interesting, uh, for a narrative. I think, so here's the thing with, well, what did you think about it? What were your thoughts about it?
The way it ended, I thought first of all, I thought Tyler the Creator did a really great job in the role that he
Mm-hmm.
was in.
Very good.
So the girl, the one who was in Gwyneth Paltrow, the one who was
Oh,
pregnant.
Odessa Zion.
Yeah, she's good. I'm like, okay, I hope we see more of her in the
She,
coming future.
she was very good. Yeah.
And yeah, the way the movie ends, the whole time he wants the championship, but he also wants to defeat the Japanese dude. So he defeats the Japanese dude, but he doesn't get to defeat in the championships.
Right.
So part of me that wants this guy to achieve his goal,
Mm-hmm.
just to see what happens on the other side, wants there to be a sequel because I'm like, this nefarious motherfucker. It's probably going to be harder, even harder now that he has a kid to get to the championship with no money, but I still want to see him do it.
Eh, yeah, and I think by the end of him, his pride was soothed, but at what cost? And and
Yeah.
and I think I'm also looking at it just like how much and how many obstacles did you artificially make for yourself because in pursuit of something that is important and valuable to you, you just kept making like the wrong decision for ego.
Yeah, straight up.
So I think that was um a big thing for me is just like the the ego of it is a character that's like a white guy with a lot of hubris that talks his way in and out of situations is not like unfamiliar. I do think Marty Supreme and Marty Mauser as a character like stand out because of Timothy Chalamet's performance,
Oh,
but
100%.
but I think this character is nothing new. I think there's a lot of guys that see themselves in Marty and take the wrong lessons, I think, from a character like this, where it's just like, if you work hard and believe in yourself, who cares if you're an asshole? You'll still like make it back home and, be able to be with the girl, and have the kid and be the dad.
I
Like
think Joker is one of those. The Joker on TikTok, she was
yeah.
like, I gotta work harder. So this movie taught me. I was like, ah.
It's like, I don't think that's a lesson, girl. I don't think that's
Did,
also, he's a white man.
did you see that video or no?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
Um, I think that yeah. I look. I don't like the character. I would never want to be friends with him. I wouldn't want to be within 10 feet
oh,
of
for
him.
sure.
But I can't lie and say I wasn't entertained to see how he was going to figure out how the fuck to get to his next goal.
Yes.
And it's not necessarily original. And listen, nearly every story that's been told has been told before. It's not about
Hmm.
the fact that it's been told; it's about how you execute it. And I feel like for a story that's familiar, I feel like it was executed very well.
I agree. I agree. The minor like controversy slash dust up is that the Critics' Choice Awards happened recently, and while it won a lot, um, the two of the nominees for Best Actor were Timothy Chalamet for Marty Supreme, and then Michael B. Jordan for Sinners.
Mm.
Um, and so Chalamet wound up winning, and it just kind of like broke out from there about it. E-Man Reviews actually had a really good, I think, informed take as somebody that does vote on the committee um about why he thinks Tim won, and he was boiling it down to because Sinners I think also won Best Ensemble Cast. So it's not like he
Very good.
um but he was saying it's like Sinners cast as a whole is super crazy strong. So
Yeah.
Mike MBJ gave a dynamite performance. I'd argue is like it is, one of the best, if not the best of the year. But he's also with like Delroy Lindo, Wunmi Masaku, and everybody, even just like the actor for Bo, everybody was on their S game, way past A, including him. So it doesn't really make him uh stand out as much versus, and he's also like he's the main, even with the new guy that played Sammy, like everybody was fantastic. But with Marty Supreme, don't get me wrong, everybody was great. Everybody did a great job. But the movie's about Marty Mauser, and Tim is playing Marty Mauser. So while Tyler the Creator and Gwyneth Paltrow and Odessa Zion all did great jobs, Tim is like carrying the movie because it's about him
Yeah.
versus Sinners, which is about this community.
Right.
So it's about a community with a bunch of strong actors versus a movie about one person with a lot of really insanely talented supporting actors. But none of them like outshine Tim because it's focused on Tim.
Yeah,
Versus,
he's very much the lead, whereas the Sinners is more of an ensemble.
yeah. And so
Makes sense.
that's why, at least from my understanding of E-Man's argument, he thinks that Tim won that. But I think the people's like, understandably so folks' contention is like, is it a white or black thing? I'm just like, I think it's slightly more complex than that. I think it's a little bit more. I do think there's a component in the voting bodies for some of the critics that are maybe trying to almost like humble Sinners. There can be a component of people disconnecting with the content of it. Um, I like to think that that doesn't happen to me as much when I watch movies from like other cultures. Like I saw the TV Glow and I got the point of it, and a lot of people love that movie. It wasn't my favorite movie, but I understand the value of it, and I can see how that would be somebody's movie of the year for like 2024. I saw Parasite, fantastic movie. I am not connected to Korean culture at all. So it's just
No,
like, so it's like something can be great and not resonate with you, but you can appreciate and understand the value of it. Like, Train to Busan, amazing movie, Korean. Like I see, like Heartbreaker's probably like a great series. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure it's like very good. Or like you're saying, Heated Rivals has this
yeah.
insane, you know, reception right now, which is surprising, but I'm happy for him. And everyone's like, yeah, it's great watch, great acting,
Yeah,
great act.
exactly.
So
I
it's
loved it. I love the show. It's not my favorite show of the year, but
yeah,
I still really enjoyed it.
yeah. And so that's one of those things that kind of comes to mind. It's like, do I think it's explicitly black and white? I think that can be a factor, in so much as maybe some people in the voting bodies aren't able to directly relate to a lot of the cultural aspects, but because the narrative of Marty Mauser, yes, it's executed at like the highest degree, I think, of cinema that something can be. I think that is a lot more of a narrative, that individualistic one in particular. Here we go. Individualism versus collectivism again as themes kind of runs true. There is a lot of American culture that is baked in to Marty Supreme and Marty Mauser as a character of, if I work hard and bust my ass and go about life in the way I think, and am headstrong, it'll work out the way that I want it to. And it doesn't matter what I have to sacrifice, be it damn near my life, I'm going to make it happen. There's a rugged individualism that, to be transparent, a lot of white people relate to, even though I'm going to be real, y'all aren't Marty Mauser. You aren't Tony Stark. You have a lot more in common with 10 niggas in a barn trying to have a party so they can have joy off of working hard at a minimum wage job that beats their ass on a weekly basis than you do Marty Mauser in the a similar time period in like the 40s and 50s, working in a shoe factory with the baby mama on the way who was cheating on her husband. You have more in common, honestly, with the ensemble of sinners than you do with Marty Mauser. Because even though Marty Mauser didn't win everything, he's a winner. He's like, is he working class? Yeah, but he's not the same working class. You don't have the wit that Marty Mauser has.
Right.
You do have the wit that a preacher boy has.
Huh?
You got the community that a smoking stack have. You got that cousin that's going to shoot somebody in the ass.
Hmm.
you know
Mm-hmm.
you got that one thick girl that you coming back into town with that y'all lost a baby over and y'all been together for a long time. You got that. But if you don't think about it that way, that skin color in that time period gonna get you caught up. You see some Klan members get shot and you get uncomfortable. Why? They're racist. Who gives a fuck? It's like, yeah, but you
Yep.
look like me. Who cares? It's like,
Hmm.
your girl don't look like Gwyneth Paltrow. Your uncle don't make pen ink money. You're not flying overseas to Japan to have events for you. It's like you're Marty because you're getting your ass beat by an Asian dude that came out of nowhere with some new hotness. But it's like, but you're not Marty, dog. It's not because you're not working hard enough. Those systems are trying to get you one way or another. You got way more in common with sinners than you do Marty Supreme. That said, they're both movies. They're both fantastic movies. It could have gone either way. So it's like, if it's me personally, I'm giving it to Mike because I think he had to do something aside from playing twins that are differentiated. I think he did have to do a more unique character with Smoke and Stack than I think Tim had to be as Marty. That's not discrediting their efforts or talents. They're insanely talented. They're
Yeah.
incredible. They're going to go down in history books. People are going to study them in film classes and shit. I think the characters that they had to play, I think Smoke and Stack have a lot more intrigue and depth that has to be brought to life from an actor like Michael B. Jordan, who has played, he's been pushing his bounds, throughout his career. Then maybe it's Timothy Chalamet, who is functionally a abrasive, selfish dickhead. That's why I was saying about like the differences of the narratives. I haven't really seen it. Sinners takes a lot of inspiration from movies I've seen, but I haven't seen the Sinners. I've seen, Marty Supreme. It's still impressive. It's still impeccable. But a character like Marty Mauser, I've seen him. It's like he's that white boy fantasy. He's that Tony Stark. He's 1940s and 50s Tony Stark. He gets by the skin of his teeth, but he can talk his way out of every situation until he gets humbled, but he still finds a way to talk about it. He just doesn't give a fuck and he still does what he wants. And it may not always work out in the moment, but it works out in the end. You know, he got the girl that he didn't want. He got
Mm-hmm.
the son that he didn't ask for. He's on the run from the police that he shouldn't have been in the first place. So, I don't know. Did you have any thoughts? Any additional thoughts on that? Well, what I said or anything else?
Um, yeah, I'd probably give it to Mike too. I thought Timothy Chalamet did a great job.
Mm,
I don't think that's going to be his career defining role as of yet. He's still very young in his career. And I think the marketing for this movie, Marty Supreme, has been really unique and original. I
mm,
don't think it's going to go down as an all time classic like Sinners is.
mm,
So, so I think for that alone, and just what Mike was able to do and kind of really challenging himself, pushing himself as an actor,
mm.
I think he deserves that best actor um, award, and hopefully he is also nominated for the Oscars as well.
Yeah, I hope he's. I want Sinners to win all the awards at the Oscars, but things are going to be how they are. You know, if be prepared in case of disappointment when Oscar season comes around, which I think we're a month and a half out. So it's
Yeah,
like, don't a great movie and a great actor does not need award vindication for it to be great, for it to be a resonant piece of media, be it personally, be it culturally. Marty Mauser is going to be somebody's Sinners, and that's okay. It is not to tear the movie down. It's a fantastic movie. Me personally, Sinners is now one of my favorites of all time. Saw it 3 times in theaters and 1 time, on streaming.
one of my favorites of all time too. Yeah, I've seen it
Yeah.
five or six times at this point.
So it's like, while I want it to have its strengths validated to an extent by those that are not a part of us, I do not require it because that movie is great on its own. All that I require is to own it on Blu-ray. that's
That part,
that's all I need at that point.
please,
So it's like,
please.
both. I think it was Benny Safdie. It was either Benny or Josh Safdie that did Marty Supreme. Both teams
It was
deserve.
Josh.
Yeah, it was okay. So Josh Safdie and Ryan Coogler, they both deserve high praise. They both deserve high accolades. Don't harass these people. Don't harass these voting teams. But all these people that are critics and are on the voting committees for Oscars and other awards, they should see all the movies that come up for nomination. Do not skip shit. That is my only issue. Stop skipping movies that are on the table. You don't skip K-pop Demon Hunters if
Nope.
it's up for nomination. You don't skip that. I'm sorry. It may seem like a kid's movie. It's a great movie. That's in my top 10 too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a fuck if it's My Little Pony Friendship is Magic the movie. If it's on your docket, go and see the shit. Make some time. You're missing bangers. We wouldn't have Parasite getting its recognition. I wouldn't have seen Parasite had I not known that it won the Oscars. It shouldn't have to be that way, but it happens for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
it's like, if you want to advance the appreciation for this medium, you know, it's like, you got to be able to extend yourself beyond the bounds of comfort of what you're familiar with. I think, I would not have been upset a couple of years ago if I saw the TV Glow had won some national awards. It doesn't require it, but I would have been happy if it won some. I'm like, it's not for me. Wasn't in my top 5 or top 10, but I respect it.
Yeah.
Because
No.
I had never seen anything like that before with that message and that metaphor and that focus.
No, it was very unique. It was very
Yeah.
unique in that regard.
Yeah. So, all right. Anything last about Martin Supreme before we get out of here?
Um, no, I liked the movie. And yeah, Sinners deserves all the awards. But
Yeah.
I liked it. I don't know if it's in my top 10. It might be. I need to go over the list, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's how I feel.
Okay. All right, man. So we can get out of here. Anything you want to plug? Let people know where to find you at.
Crystal Rail should be coming out sometime this year. So Scarlet is happening in April on April 18th. Go check out the Real Rejects, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Where can people find you at?
Oh,
If they want to follow your shit.
they can follow me on Instagram at the Real Aaron Alexander, and you can also follow me on TikTok at the Real Aaron Alexander, spelled REEL.
So you're looking for me. Shit. What do I got plugged? The Aura Bite will be coming out sometime this year. When I have a date, I will let people know. You can find me guesting, co-hosting at a Review a New podcast with our homeboy DJ the Rap Critic. And then if you're looking for me on social media, I'm on Instagram, Threads, and YouTube, all at Will the Greatest. So yeah, we'll let y'all go and have fun. Be kind to one another, and we'll see you when we see you. Host.
Deuces.